What's up and welcome to another episode of Gizmo Slip Tech. Today we're going to talk about the ZenBook Pro 15. Now this is an awesome laptop. It has dual screens up to an i9 processor in it, so it's got crazy high-end productivity potential. At the same time, you've got the multitasking of dual screens. It has a 5.5-inch 1080p display. Inside the trackpad, it's got a dedicated graphics card. Now I'm giving away an iPhone 10 for the month of June. If you want to enter that giveaway, I will have a link down below. So let's talk about the touchpad first. This is a 5.5-inch 1920 by 1080p display in the trackpad itself. So this is a little bit wider aspect ratio than you normally expect in a touchpad. It functions just like a touchpad, but it is also a display. So you can watch Netflix while you browse the web, for example, without having to have dual apps open on your main display. I think that's really cool because sometimes I just love to listen to The Office or a YouTube video talking about something that I'm interested in without having to fully watch it. Having two in one, I think, is just a really cool and revolutionary idea. Some other functions is that you can mirror your smartphone display on the trackpad. You can also use it to control your music, go forward, back, play, stop, adjust volume. It's an all-around really cool additional functionality for a laptop. I honestly hope more laptop manufacturers take the hint and say this is a really cool product idea and integrate more LCDs into the trackpads. Now, most of the time this is going to be a gimmick, but when you occasionally want dual screens, it's there, it's awesome. I'm down. I think it's a really cool idea. Now, the second thing that's impressive about this laptop is that it's very thin at 0.74 inches thin and weighs only 4.1 pounds. And it has a Core i9-8950HK processor. Now this is the beefiest, most powerful laptop processor currently available. This is the thinnest and lightest laptop I have seen so far with an i9. Now the i9 processor in this bad boy will likely be thermally and power limit throttled to a certain extent. We're not sure how much yet. The exact same processor in the Asus X9 laptop, which is a thicker processor and a 17-inch instead of a 15-inch, was able to maintain 4.3 gigahertz clocks on all 6 cores doing Cinebench. So I have some hope for this laptop not throttling too bad, but unless they do a really good job cooling, I would imagine thermal and power limit throttling on this bad boy. What that means practically for most users is that when you're rendering video files with Adobe Premiere, you're not going to be experiencing the full potential 4.5 gigahertz on all 6 cores. You're going to be down throttling to maybe 4 gigahertz or 3.8 or 3.6 gigahertz on all 6 cores. It'll be very interesting to see how this thing tests when the full production units come out. Now, I am a little disappointed that it didn't have a GTX 1060 because that would really push it into the gaming laptop area. The 1050 Ti is a decent one. You're gonna be able to play a lot of games at 1080p and medium settings, but you're not gonna be able to play very many modern, recently released games on high settings above 1080p. Now you can get two different displays on this laptop. You can get a 4K panel or a 1080p panel. The 4K panel has 100% Adobe RGB coverage, and the 1080p panel only has 100% sRGB coverage and probably about 65 to 70% Adobe RGB coverage. In this situation, I would highly recommend going with the 4K panel just because it'll make your games and videos and photos really pop with color and make that entertainment experience all that much better. Now it has a lot of ports. 2 USB Type-C/Thunderbolt 3, 2 USB 3.1 Type-A, 1 HDMI, an audio jack, and a micro SD card reader. The main two things that's missing is a full-size SD card slot. I really wish they'd put a full-size SD card slot. There'll be a lot of people looking to edit video on this machine, and not having a full-size SD card slot is a big mistake. It would have been much better to reduce the number of USB slots by 1 and include instead a full-size SD card slot. The second port that it's missing is a LAN port. So if you're someone that needs to plug in all the time, this laptop will need additional dongles for that as well. Now the price point and release date hasn't been set. It should come sometime in the next few months. I'm guessing that if you want to get this thing fully spec'd with an i9 processor and the 4K panel, you're looking at least minimum $2,500, but maybe as much as $3,000. That's my best guess. Now, if you're in the market for a multimedia gaming entertainment productivity laptop like this one, other laptops to consider would be the MSI GS65 Stealth, the Razer Blade 15, the Gigabyte Aero 15, and the Aorus X5 V8. As always, I'll have links in the description down below. I did recently do a review on the GS65 Stealth, so if you want to check that out, I'll have a link down below for that as well. And that's it for this episode of Gizmo Slip Tech. Don't forget to enter the iPhone 10 giveaway for the month of June. We'll see you next time. Brandon out.